Have you ever found yourself tangled in a web of promises and async functions, only to be met with unexpected errors? If that sounds like you, stick around. Today, we're diving into how to define an async function inside a promise. I totally get it. It can be incredibly frustrating when your code throws errors, especially when you're trying to make it cleaner and more efficient. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar challenges. Here's the specific question we're addressing today. One user asked, "How do I define an async function inside a promise?" They shared their code using both the .then method and the await async approach, but they encountered an unexpected identifier error. Sound familiar? Let's break it down together. So what's happening here? When you define an async function inside a promise, you need to ensure that the async keyword is correctly placed. This allows you to use the await keyword within that function. Let's clarify this with your code. And don't go anywhere. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how to fix this error, but also gain insights into writing cleaner async code. To define an async function inside a promise, the user should first ensure that the function they want to define as async is declared correctly. This means using the async keyword before the function name. Next, the user should modify the promise constructor to include the async function. This allows the user to use the await keyword within the function to handle asynchronous operations. Inside the async function, the user can now call the add lessons function using the await keyword. This will pause the execution until the promise returned by add lessons is resolved. Finally, the user should ensure that the resolve function is called with the result of the awaited function. This will pass the result back to the promise's consumer. Fun fact, did you know that JavaScript was created in just 10 days? It's amazing how far it has come, and yet we still face these little hiccups in coding. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative approach provided by a user involves defining an async function directly within a promise. They create a promise that uses async syntax to handle asynchronous operations. Inside the promise, they fetch data from an API and handle errors using try-catch blocks. Here's a pro tip. Always remember to check the placement of your async keywords when working with promises. This simple step can save you a lot of headaches down the line. And there you have it. You should now be able to define async functions inside promises without any issues. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more coding tips and tricks. Happy coding!